afternoon, whenever you're seeing us. Today's talk is about Jesus being the light of the world. Do you recognise where I'm sitting? Do you recognise that, Rufus? Yes, we've got where we normally have our story time, which is rather special. Now, okay, Rufus hasn't got anything in his pocket today, but he's brought something rather big and heavy to show you. Can you see what it is? It's a candle. Would you like me to light it? Okay, I'm going to put him down a minute because I've got to light this candle. How much is that? There we are. That took a long time to get that light, didn't it? But light is really, really special because in darkness we need light. It shows us the way. That's right. Now then, if you remember our last stories, we've had lots of stories from the Old Testament, and they were about people who really had lost their way. They were being greedy, fighting, being violent, and they weren't listening to God. And God, he was got really fed up about this. And he tried sending people to help pass the message on. Do you remember we were talking about Moses? Do you remember baby Moses and then crossing the Red Sea? But still people wouldn't listen. So God needed to do something drastic. The passage that I'm going to read today is from the New Testament, from the Gospel of John, chapter 1, from 1 onwards. And many of you may recognise it. It's often used at Christmas, actually. So I'm going to read you straight from the Bible, and I've got my Bible on my lap, and I'm going to put my glasses on today because I'm going to read it straight from the Bible, and I want you to be able to think, what did God do? Who did he send in these troubled times? And this is John chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not understood it. There came a man who was sent from God. His name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all men might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to every man was coming into the world. And here's our light. I'm going to turn this round, and you might have a clue as to who God sent. Can you see something very, very special on that candle? Can you see there are two people standing by a manger in a stable? Have you guessed? Have you guessed who it was? Yes. God did send John, but he sent Jesus to be a light in the world and to help us understand God's message. This time of year, we're going to see many lights. We might see, next weekend, we might see lots of lights in the sky to celebrate Bonfire Night, Guy Fawkes Night, or Diwali. And soon we'll be seeing all the Christmas lights, which they use to celebrate Christmas, to make us feel excited about Christmas. So when you see these lights, whether it's a candle or whether it's fireworks, or whether it's beautiful fairy lights all around the place, do try to remember the message today that Jesus is the light of the world. And in these dark times, with all the worries that we have with COVID around us, remember that Jesus is with us at all times, shining his light upon us. Do you remember that, Rufus? Oh, you were just keeping a little bit down there. He was just a bit worried because I was reading. He didn't want to go too close to the candle. You do have to be very careful with candles. Did you like that? Yes, yeah. And what have you got to remember? That's right. Jesus is the light of the world, and God sent his son Jesus to us. Yep. Shall we sing a little song now? I've got a song called This Little Light of Mine. And it goes like this. Ready? You going to sing with me? You can dance, okay? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Shall we sing it once more? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Perhaps you can try singing that one. It's a very, very simple song. Well, I hope you enjoyed that passage today, not really a story, passage from the Bible. And we're just going to finish today with our very special prayer, the Lord's Prayer. Ready then? Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. And I wish you all a very, very good week, and God's blessings to all of you. See you next week. Bye.